no doubt in their mind this is their match to win. So it's going to be a difficult one for Lazarus to have a chance here. But I think going into this one, they've got to be really ready for that aggression from the Brazilian side that we've seen on the defenses where they just push out. And I think the one benefit as we go into this one for Lazarus might be they do get that defending side, which we've seen have a nice advantage to start off on. But Imperial, a team ready to put the pedal to the metal here. They're already pushing, but for the first time in CFS 2019, the shotguns have been brought out by Lazarus. It's going to be Logic.
What do you make of that,
very
Carl?
passive with it. So it used to be pretty common on Mexico because it was such a close quarters map, but I'm interested to see how it plays into a factor on this map. You have to play a tight angle with it or it's essentially useless, but Logic actually playing a very close angle here over towards B, so it could pay off, but the only downside here is against a team like Imperial, they always set up to trade on their execution, so it may not be enough to get the job done, but we'll see how they try and position it here with Toonie trying to sort of bait them into it.
Yeah, this could be Lazarus's way of getting a mental one-up on the team. Is that right? If they were to do some chaos with this shotgun?
Definitely, and it's not something I think Imperial probably prepared to go up against either, considering most people were just worried about this map in general, let alone potential gun changes coming out from teams that are rarely expected here. So could be a nice curveball play, but they still have to make it work. Imperial, though, they've caught on to the positioning, but they still have to try and force their way through mid, where we are going to see Leaves playing pretty close here with Eric trying to hold this one down, but it's going to be Imperial getting a split set up.
Yeah, it does look like Lazarus have read the play very well, though. They've rotated across to the A site as the execute is about to come underway. It's up to Leaves now, and he gets decimated on the entry by Nenems. And, well, I mean, everyone is Imperial just coming in and forcing their way. No problems. Logic's going to shoot that shotgun before swapping it out. I was going to say that would make it very difficult for him to retake.
Now down to the 2-on-3. Both Toonie and Logic getting kills already on the rotation. They have to do a lot more than that to try and reclaim this bomb site. Danimal playing very aggressively over in the corner here, but it's going to be Toonie who actually almost second guesses and picks up the shotgun, but thinks better of it there. And now it's going to be Danimal trying to lock it down. Toonie and Logic both picking up frags, though, down to the 2-on-1. And Felipe, he's nowhere in sight to defend this bomb. He's actually holding it from the top of the tower, and they're going to defend the diffuser. He has no idea. Toonie's in the corner. He's going to get the defuse, the ninja defuse. Round number 1. It's going to go to Lazarus here with a 2v5 retake from Toonie and Logic. I'm not sure how they were able to get that done, but Felipe choosing that tower position definitely may come back to haunt them here.
Yeah, and look, if I'm Imperial, I'm face-palming right now because I'm already favoured to win this match. I don't need to go to the effort to do those sorts of things. If he just took those aim deals normally, and we would almost favour him anyway. So really, they've given one away to Lazarus there. And Logic again with the shotgun. He is relentless. Let's see what he can do. Obviously, they could pop out of that window, which the shotgun would be perfect for. Toonie with a little 2mm gap on the door.
Some nice smokes coming out, though. Toonie not able to catch players on the cross. It's going to force Logic to play back a little bit, but he connects just a hair of damage there onto GDSZ, but it's not going to be enough to do anything heavy just yet. Logic, though, putting tons of pressure here with utility now to try and stall this one out. Imperial left to decide if they want to push into the shotgun or maybe just back off, and I think from Imperial's point of view, it might be best to just try and reset this one and work their way over towards the other bomb site here, trying to force close quarters against the shotgun. Not really what you want to do in this positioning.
But again, Lazarus have read it extremely well with Logic just keeping them away from that door. They're already going to rotate an extra player across to this A site. And let's just see if Lazarus are able to hold off better this time.
Starting off, it is going to be Leaves and Albert trading 2 for 1 fairly nicely on the hold so far, but they have to be careful. Felipe sneaking his way around the back. Eric spots him, not able to connect on the shots, though. And this is where things could get a bit difficult, but Logic comes running in with the shotgun. Toonie supporting with the Colt as well. It's down to a 3-on-1. Felipe still hasn't peeked this angle over towards A-Long. This is looking like another potential round over to Lazarus here, but Felipe, big headshot there, takes down Toonie. Now the remaining players of Lazarus have to play this one a bit more carefully. They don't want to give up this clutch situation, but Felipe hunting very carefully, but it's not going to matter. The nice double peek comes through, and it's going to be a 2-0 start for Lazarus here already, looking pretty clean. But as we've seen, this does tend to be a defensive-sided map, so I think it's not just a matter of getting a few rounds here. They definitely need to win this half if they want a chance of winning this map.
Yeah, I mean, all the momentum in the world might not be enough for Lazarus once they swap over to the other side, given the caliber of the players on Imperial. So you're going to need a lot more than just 2-0. But if Imperial keep playing the way that they are, though, on this attacking side, I mean, I actually would have expected them to do a little bit better than they were. The executes have appeared to be a little bit sloppy, and they've been very easy to read for Lazarus, and that's a real problem. Now, I don't know if that is a symptom, perhaps, just of this map, but Imperial, like I said, not doing themselves any favours at this point.
I think the biggest thing for Imperial is they put almost too much focus on taking control over towards B very early on, and they don't have enough mid presence to really get the extra information to where they can rotate if they decide ultimately not to go into B, because they start in this position almost every round, but they haven't executed into it just yet. Logic seems to scare them off almost every time with that shotgun. It is going to be Will trying to get more information here, but Logic, he just sneaks behind the box, and he's just waiting for someone to make the mistake of peeking this angle, and this is Imperial playing almost a little bit too cautious, I'd say, in this positioning.
Yeah, they're definitely giving Logic a lot of respect right now, correct? I mean, he's only got 3 shots left in the shotgun, and you can hear that he hasn't reloaded.
Meanwhile, though, Felipe sneaks in, gets the double kill. That's exactly what they needed. They take down Logic after the initial peek there from Felipe as well. But Felipe, he's gotten 3 already. Eric now left alone in a 1-on-5. It's not going to happen, but Felipe single-handedly picking up the first round here for his team with 4 huge frags. And that's a scary sight to see.
Yeah, and there you go. That's exactly what we were talking about with Imperial, just giving perhaps Lazarus a little bit too much respect. And Felipe just throws caution to the wind, uses his mechanical skill, and gets out 4 kills in the round for Imperial to get them on the board. That's exactly what we were looking at, maybe. That was the downside. Imperial just giving them too much respect. Well, who knows how that could change the rest of this half. They've cottoned on pretty early. So Felipe himself, the man, 7 kills, only the 1 death. And you've got to say, he's having a lights-out performance so far. Let's see if he can keep it up. You've got to imagine if I'm Lazarus and I see Felipe coming towards me, I'm going to be a little bit hesitant, as he is just continuing on his decimating ways. But Eric, with a good trade out there, that's exactly what they needed. But is it going to be enough as the rest of Imperial looming outside the A-bomb side?
Now it is going to be Eric running into some trouble here. Manages to take down Will, though, in the process. Still keeping it kind of one-man advantage, but it is going to be Imperial now trapped in the back of the A-bomb site, but Logic gets caught with the grenade out. Almost gets taken out in the process, and Danimal has the key positioning here, but it's not going to matter. Logic and leaves. They sneak their way in here, and the rotations have been pretty solid across the board here so far from Lazarus, but still, they have to wonder what Felipe could be up to this time around. He has been the one going off for his team right now, but surprisingly, the 2 former world champions fairly silent so far for the Imperial roster.
Yep, you read my mind there, Kyle. They have been pretty quiet. I would have expected better from them, especially with the positioning that Danimal had coming late into that round, rotating behind the 3 Lazarus members. Unfortunately, a little bit too quiet. And I mean, this is not the match to be quiet in. We have pipped Imperial as the better team, but so far they've struggled. And to give Lazarus any sort of confidence would be very dangerous.
Now they're finally going to go for the full commitment here. This is exactly what Imperial needed. Catching Lazarus off guard. Eric goes down without a single frag. It's all on Albert. He's going to be taken down as well, and things just completely fall apart here on the rotation as well. Tooney now left in a 1-on-5. Manages to pick up 1, but surely that'll be it. It's going to be another round on the board for Imperial here. 2-3, keeping things close, but as we've seen, when things are close on this map, I think the defensive side for Imperial could be enough to push them through if they keep this one close enough here.
Again, though, the lack of respect, just going straight into the bomb site, not really trying to finesse anything. That's what's working out for Imperial as these grenades in middle. Oh, it's a huge firefight. Everyone just wants to go mano a mano down middle. And you will see Imperial actually come out worse for wear.
Yeah, surprisingly so. They looked like they had a lot of advantages on those angles, but I'm not sure why they didn't have Felipe pick from that top position in mid. He had really no chance of getting taken down if he went in to support his team, but this position going to work out really well for Nenims here, finding Tooney and potentially Albert as well if he plays his cards right. He's going to find both. That's a nice way to turn things back around for Imperial.
Yeah, great work there by Nenims just to find that little sneaky forward position to catch Lazarus on their return to the B site. And that'll be the rest of the players congregating in this A hallway to group up with Nenims. And leaves, well, we've seen this position already a couple of times. Without a teammate to distract for him, though, I don't expect him to do a whole lot. But I say that, he peeks and gets taken out instantly by Nenems. And that's a lot of pressure for Eric now. 1 versus 3. Remember, like we said, you don't want to let the attacking side have an even scoreline, because this is very heavily favoured towards the defensive side with the crossfires that are available to them. But Lazarus, they're falling early here. Eric clearing out corners, just a nice little pre-fire there. But the danger man for me, Felipe, is still alive, Kyle.
Unfortunately so. Eric really in a position where he can't get probably more than a kill out of this one, but he won't even get that there. Nenems, though, 3 kills on the round from him. And this is Imperial now starting to come to life. They had a very shaky start, but still, they tie this one up and now have a chance to take a lead on presumably what we'd say is the harder side here. So this is definitely a good effort from them to try and bring this one back early before it gets taken away from them. But now we're going to see how Lazarus may respond here. They've got a lot of players over towards B, though, this time.
Yeah, they've completely gone into their shell, a completely passive mode. Logic this time still with the AKs, ditched the shotgun. As Lazarus may be thinking that, you know, they've got a better chance here. Maybe the not a time for fun and games. And Imperial grouping up here 4 players with just the one on the other side of the map. That will be Felipe. We know the damage he can do on his own. He is about to come into Eric's crosshair. As we see Tooney and Logic again working together here on this door. As you said, Kyle, a lot of emphasis from Imperial over here.
Logic, though, taken down out of that position early, leaves a big opening now over towards the B-bomb side. And unfortunately, that does leave Tooney all alone here. Bert going down as well. And now Imperial just exploding on all sides of the map here. They have one player lurking, but it's not going to matter. They're still decimating their way onto the B-bomb side. Eric, he will manage to find one there on the lurk from Felipe, but it doesn't matter. Both of them are stuck here over towards A as the bomb goes down on B. It's going to be a 4v2 retake. Eric and Leaves both needing something special here to hold on.
Yeah, and as you can see, the work that Felipe has done is basically taken 10 seconds off the bomb timer. So by the time that Lazarus are able to regroup, you've got Nenems now, who's also on the prowl. And they're not making it easy for Lazarus here, as they are just going straight up for the attack. And I mean, that is a sign of disrespect there, just to say, look, we're not even going to wait for you to come in and try and take the bomb site. Danimal covering the mouth there to potentially hide some obviously very highly secretive, important strategy talk from the rest of the crowd. And again, Imperial, they take the lead. And Lazarus on the attack here with Tooney and Logic. Logic surprised them on the reload, perhaps, is when he'll strike. Instead, it's Albert with Felipe on the other side of the map. Oh, Logic is in so much trouble right now in no man's land. Danimal will be able to take him down with no trade from Tooney, despite being very close.
Right now, Tooney, he just has to try and get a pick before he goes down here. 3 HP, still has the value of having that sniper in his hands, but still, it's going to be Imperial who know they've done a lot of damage, so now I'm just going to swing towards this B-bomb site, potentially from the middle, but it's actually Eric who gets challenged here in that middle position. He's taken down by Nenems, who picks up his 10th frag of the half so far.
The quiet achiever.
Bert, he responds nicely. He's going to find one here. GDZ just holding the top angle. He's going to catch 2 players off guard, make it a triple kill. And that is just complete devastation raining down from above there, and Imperial now start to get momentum on their side, and this is looking a bit scary now for Lazarus, as Imperial, they've already secured the harder half in this match.
Yeah, which is definitely not what you want to see. Again, Lazarus coming in as the underdog and on the favoured side of the map. So this is really setting the storyline for that second half. Lazarus taking a lot of damage early on from grenades, trying to be over-aggressive. That's just Felipe on the other side of the map, dealing with both Eric and Albert single-handedly. And, well, he's just a one-man army at this point, as he will continue to face the A site. And that's enough damage to get the rest of the Imperial members rotating across to A.
Tooney, though, 2 huge frags through the edge of the smoke. Albert finds another, and it's just going to be Leaves coming in from behind to clean things up. And that's going to be a very smooth hold, and a much-needed one at that to make it a 5-4 half, but still, we'll see if it's enough as we go into the second half. 5 rounds on the attacking side of Compound. Definitely might be enough for Imperial to still close this one out.
All right, as we get the second half underway with Lazarus tying things up ever so slightly, and you will expect to see Imperial ready to set and dictate the pace on the defensive side. That being said, they have fallen back into their respective bomb sites with a very even spread across the map, as with Lazarus. So there's no real key indication of which bomb site they're going to go to early on in this round. They've both survived avoiding each other's grenades, the pre-round work, as Eric and Logic are grouping up towards the B site, meticulously clearing out every angle. The unknown, like we talked about in the pre-show, that's the element working in favour for both of these teams. And that's why that mechanical skill coming out from Imperial was maybe able to net them so many rounds on the attack.
Interesting risk, though, coming out from Imperial. They've only had one player positioned here over towards the B bomb site. Lazarus trying to sneak their way up the middle here, but they may just run right into this trap. Nenim's playing very close around the corner. Hasn't been spotted just yet either. Logic, he's in a very precarious position, trying to find his way into it, but it's actually GDSZ who finds the initial kill there. Nenim still has yet to be spotted here.
What a great switch and bait play here so far. Very interested to see how many kills Nenems can get. He's obviously waiting for that firefight to unravel. We've got the majority of the players, like you were saying, Kyle, on the A site, but now you can see a bit of pressure headed towards Danimal, the only player defending the B site.
Nenim's, though, going for the aggressive play in mid. It is not going to work out in his favor. Tooney's still there, holding the angle, will take him down. 4-on-4 as now Lazarus tries to figure out where they want to take the bomb. Unfortunately, though, time is ticking and not on their side here. 25 seconds to get this plant off. They have to steamroll their way into a bomb site very quickly here. Leaves to try and sneak his way onto the B bomb site. He actually makes it through, but the trades do come through. But Tooney finds the double cold frag. Huge work being done here over towards B, but they now have to get the bomb down quickly. And that they will do. 10 seconds on the clock as it goes down. Felipe, though, now left in a 1v3, but with the game he's been having, Lazarus still need to be careful here.
He's just on the entrance to that bomb site, but there you go. Like you were saying, I mean, you wouldn't want anyone else in a 1 versus 3 situation and then Felipe, but Lazarus just taking that round timer down, catching Imperial off guard and heading into that B site, getting the bomb down. Well, that's looking like an excellent round in the attack. We can't really fault Imperial too much. And yet Lazarus have walked away with the win, evening it up at a 5-5. This is looking very interesting now. If I'm Imperial, well, as Jordan would say, can't afford to rest on our laurels anymore. And Felipe, despite being such a great individual player, he is on his own with no backup. And Danimal, again, like you pointed out, Kyle, not having the best of games. Will in a very forward position as well. I'm worried for him. Well, okay.
Picks up the third as well. This is actually a great position choice, as it is going to be Lazarus failing to check it there, but Will, he actually gets the bomb down, and this could be a huge turnaround in order for Imperial to take back the lead here, but Tooney and Logic still on the hunt here. They know someone's going to be playing near this bomb. Logic finds his second there. A few extra bullets just for the effort there.
Just for good cause.
But still, the last two players up for Lazarus have been carrying the weight of this half so far. We'll see if they can find a way to get the bomb down, but they do need to be careful. Nenim's a player who's disrupted them quite a bit in this match so far. Logic still has to try and decide where he wants to try and move this bomb to, and Imperial playing this one very, very safe right now.
Yeah, but then again, so are Lazarus. They're definitely taking their time, using the clock correctly. And no matter where they go, the way that Imperial are positioned, it will be a 2-on-1 fight. And that is not looking good for Imperial. Could you imagine Lazarus win this round and then they're up 6-5 in the lead on the attacking side against the Brazilian Stars Imperial? Well, Nenems, you've had a great game so far. Let's see what you can do. The standard plant coming out from Lazarus. Nenems obviously completely aware that it will be on the A site, needs to find the one-on-one duels. Has a great amount of HP at his disposal. Logic separating from Tooney. This could be bad.
Logic definitely needs to move quickly here, but Tooney also playing the position he needs to. He knows the bomb's planted in a spot where he can actually hold this off, but Logic gets the kill from the tower. I'm surprised he was able to hit that shot from that angle, but it pays off And that's going to be the lead for Lazarus here, surprisingly taking the first 2 rounds on their blacklist side.
Yeah, very surprisingly indeed, considering the previous match we just saw. And, well, now it's Imperial to go on the front foot to try and salvage things, see if they can take down a couple of players, get that advantage. Considering last round, Will did so well to get 3 kills, I am definitely surprised to see that Lazarus was able to take that round away. And I am starting to question Imperial just a little bit, their nerves maybe getting to them. Not a great map for them by the seams of things. Again, as we witness Felipe just asserting his dominance on that side of the map. Lazarus this time a little bit more cautious about sneaky players towards middle, getting those individual positions where they can multiple frags. And that'll be Will smoked off. See if he goes for anything through the edge of this smoke. He can probably spot out Albert or Leaves. They come out of that window, and there you go, traded instantly. As soon as he peeks, gives away his position. So here we go again, Kyle. This is the lead. This is the advantage for Lazarus on the attacking side. They're playing this very, very well.
On top of that, I don't think it's even necessarily them playing it overly well. It's just Imperial, they get nervous and they peek out and almost give them a chance to grab these early peaks. And
they shouldn't be getting nervous.
You're right, they shouldn't be, but giving these early opportunities to Lazarus is just not working out. And as we see, once again, a solo player going out, but this time around, it does manage to get a kill going the way of Imperial. Felipe pushes out, takes down Leaves as well, and now the collapse may come through here. Lazarus having to make a decision very quickly here, otherwise it could be a full pinch.
Well, so far so good. They have fallen back and are in a position to take advantage of their player numbers, but again, Nenems goes in on his own, and Tooney just mopping up here, making the 2 entries onto the A side. Can he make it a third? And he does. This individual play from Lazarus and taking down Imperial, you've got to wonder. I mean, they need to stop and think before it's too late. This could be the 3rd round on the trot for Lazarus. Danimal, though, had a quiet game so far in a 1 versus 2. Takes down 1. Get ready for the trade. Turns around 180. Takes a chance at Looney. Oh, sorry, Tooney, but this fight going sloppily both ways. It's reverting to the pistol. There's no reason for Tooney to peek. And the defuse will come out for Imperial. So Danimal salvages some pride here.
Definitely a good round from Danimal there, but you've got to hand it to actually Lazarus making the mistakes there. They kind of fed him those last 2 kills. Both players getting a little overzealous on their peaks. They didn't really play the bomb timer the way they should have there.
Could be the match on a silver platter, Kyle. As they'll reset. Again, though, such a great start of the round by Imperial. The mid-round definitely favouring Lazarus. But for the first time in quite a while, or in fact in this half, Imperial clutch it in the final moments.
Right now, a lot of early pressure in mid, but the key factor for Lazarus so far has actually been Tooney opening up almost every single round for them, and they have to hope that continues moving forward, because if that falls off, it could be enough for Imperial to hold on here. And Imperial, they also need to be setting up for trades a little bit more. They've had so many situations in this half where players have been caught lurking on their own, pushing out of their sides a little bit too preemptively, and they've been taken down. And as we can see, Imperial playing this one much more safe in the round, playing for the trade setups, making sure there's no easy way for Lazarus to sneak into an early pick here.
It's got to be just that element of the unknown, doesn't it? I mean, it's so quiet across the map. If you're on the defensive side, you're thinking, well, there can't be anyone here. And so they get a little bit adventurous trying to get that information for their team, but it is just a little bit too much, right? A little bit overzealous. They need to just sit back and almost let Lazarus dictate the pace at this point, because that's where Imperial will be able to use their skill. Instead, GDSZ very lucky to avoid these pixel shots from Tooney. Keeps giving him the opportunity, though, from the sniper tower, and 46 seconds left on the clock. So this time, Imperial not giving anything away easily.
Now Lazarus working their way actually all the way through mid. Leaves almost being positioned to try and fake this one out, but they're going to collapse all the way into the bomb site. Logic already opens it up, takes down Felipe, and now things are completely falling apart. Logic finds the double. Bert gets the trade out there with Leaves, and it's going to be Will all alone in a 1-on-4 situation. 20 seconds on the clock. They will get the plant off. Leaves already spots Will, and it's not going to matter. He's taken down, and This is probably the most confidence we've seen from Lazarus so far in this event. But rightfully so. They've got 3 rounds and only lost 1 here on their blacklist half.
Yeah, which is just so hard for me to fathom. But at the same time, if I'm Imperial, I'm just thinking, well, you know what? It's our fault that we've put them into this position where they're able to get the tail up, get a bit of momentum, get a bit of self-belief, because we really could have put them to the sword very early. And again, they go for the aggressive start to the defensive side. And, well, you can see it's netted them a bit of HP damage towards Eric, but nothing else. For that risk, there is no reward. Felipe also opting to fall back. Now, if I'm Imperial, I'm playing defensive, I'm playing scared. Perhaps not a style that they're used to playing, and obviously already on a map that we don't really see very often. And Lazarus just seemed to be playing it perfectly, despite, to be honest, until last round, Kyle, only 3 of the players had kills. It just goes to show the impact that Toonie has been having on those entries.
Yeah, right now between Toonie and Logic, they've made up the majority effort, really, for Lazarus in this half. I think between them having something around 14 or 15 frags just in 4 rounds is pretty incredible. But right now, they have to try and hold on here, not giving any chances here for Imperial to try and pull their way back in. It's just a 1-round game still, and Imperial could easily take this one back if they just start playing a little bit more cautious and working better together as a team. Well, one of the players here who definitely needs to step it up for his team. Starting it off, he will take down Eric. Nicely done. Looking for the trade here. Toonie spots him from above. Neither player able to connect, but Logic right there for the trade, and Imperial, nobody to respond there and try and follow it up and keep the numbers advantage on their side, so it will be evened up to a 4-on-4, but Lazarus still no clear opening as there's still 2 defenders on either side.
Again, though, Will just out in no man's land. The 1-for-1 trade definitely not favouring them or giving them any sort of benefit towards the rest of the round, but that's a great shot by GDSE as he will take down one of the most impactful players for Lazarus. Nenems again, man versus world. Logic will take him down. So the 2 stars for Lazarus really doing all the work, but the number advantage is still with Imperial, and this time a little bit sloppy, leaving it down to 10 seconds left on the clock. You're going to need a lot of pressure here on Albert to plant. Is there anyone from Imperial close enough to deny it? No. You're going to have to work together here to neutralize Albert. He's got all the time in the world to find a good position, but instead gives it away, shooting that AK, trying to get that pre-fire. And here we go. This could be the window of opportunity Imperial needed to get back into this one. If I'm Lazarus, I don't really want to get quiet over that loss. They still got it into the bomb site. They still got the bomb down.
Now we'll see how things pan out here. Just 4 rounds for one team to take this in regulation. However, the way this has been looking overtime definitely wouldn't surprise me at this point. No clear front runner in this matchup. And we're going to see GDSE continue to step it up here, finally making some key impact on that sniper rifle. It is going to be a 5-on-4. Leaves taken out early, and Imperial find themselves a nice early advantage, and this is actually one of the few rounds they've seemed to be able to grab it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it definitely has paid off this one time. This is the best time for Imperial to start picking things up, garner some traction towards the end of the map. Only a few more rounds remaining. Lazarus still in the fight. It's not looking at all like the whitewash that we predicted. Definitely Lazarus taking it to Imperial, giving them a run for their money. Again, an emphasis on wasting a lot of time towards middle, trying to bait out these picks from Imperial, which, up until last round, they were giving it to them. GDSE with a great shot onto Logic. Picks him up through the corner of the smoke. Now they're going to use a lot of utility there that could just mean Lazarus has a free entry should they counter. Will playing close to the doorway, with 2 players in each bomb site. One more just sitting, waiting. I think that's Danimal. Well, Lazarus for the first time. They're going to back out and head towards the B site. It's a long way away. They're taking their time, 50 seconds. Not to give anything away.
Danimal now going to be the one feeling the pressure here. Has 3 players charging right at him. We'll see if the veteran can step up, and so far he does. 2 kills should be enough to get the round done for Imperial, now leaving Eric alone in a 1-on-4 situation. Actually a 1-on-5 considering he took down Danimal, but that's going to be it. Felipe comes in for the trade, and Imperial find themselves back in the lead, and this is really where the pressure is going to be mounted here for Lazarus. They may have had the lead in their hands temporarily, but they still have yet to put the potential forward to close out this match. And now Imperial, they're just 2 away from making it happen.
Yeah, and Lazarus, they're definitely looking like, well, the momentum has stopped. Basically, Imperial just have come out and started to dictate the pace of this map. Lazarus running out of options. So it seems as if Imperial has gotten onto things and will again in this forward position, but Lazarus also checking for it, and he will get nothing for his trouble. And that's going to be another advantage at the start of the round for Lazarus, and that's exactly what they've needed in the rounds that they've won. Imperial was so safe and guarded in the rounds that they won. So this is really just shooting themselves in the foot at this point.
Felipe, though, going to try and sneak out here and potentially take the challenge on to Bert, who is already very low here. It's actually going to be GDSC who peeks out and takes down Logic, and this has really been the impact they needed here. He finds 2. Tooney finally able to trade, but it may not be enough here. 2-on-3, Bert very low. It's going to be up to these 2 players to try and recover this round. Otherwise, it will be Imperial on match point, but Albert, he finds himself 1 as well, but it may not matter. It's going to be Tooney and Danimal, both fighting for survival for their team here in such a crucial round. The C4 in Tooney's hands. He's actually going to go for the rotation here, all the way back over towards the B bomb site, potentially to try and catch Danimal off guard here. But Danimal, he's ready for the positioning, but Tooney, he hits the shot right in time for his team to find this one and tie it up 8-8. Still anyone's match for the taking with 2 rounds left here, but really for Lazarus, Tooney's been the saving grace throughout, it seems.
Absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't want a better player last alive in that situation up against Danimal as well, who, like you said, hasn't had his best of games, so won't have a whole lot of confidence going into that. And you could see when Danimal lost that round, he was pretty dejected. So great work there by Tooney and a great work by the rest of the team for Lazarus to really come back after losing that entry on Logic again. I think Logic needs to probably change something up so that GDSZ is not able to get that pick on him every single round through the smoke. That being said, though, Lazarus still in the fight, keeping it at 8-8. You've got to give them credit here. And, well, we're going to see more of the same. Just this waiting for Imperial to push. There's no forward positioning from any of them this round. Back to playing passive.
Now may come one of the most important duels here in mid. Tooney versus GDSC, both leading the charge for their teams respectively here between 11 and 12 frags. Logic, though, will be the first one to peak. They're almost protecting Tooney in these positions. They know how valuable that sniper can be later on in the round. Logic going to be playing that support role here very carefully. No clear take in sight, though, just yet for Lazarus. They're still trying to find that opening, but you can tell Imperial, this is a very important round to them, and they're not going to give it up too easily. But GDSC takes down Tooney, and that could be all they need to take control of this round here. Now grabbing the man advantage and the key player for Lazarus taken out of the picture early on.
You can just see that the battle really is between just these 2 players at the moment, both top fragging for their teams. And just the way that they're just outplaying each other round and round again, it is a great duel to see. Unfortunately for Lazarus, 40 seconds left on the clock, nowhere to go. GDSZ still alive.
Now it looks like they may force their way over towards the B bomb site. Leaves trying to start it off by taking the challenge here over towards Danimal. But still, Lazarus, with this much hesitation, there's only 20 seconds on the clock. They have to move now, or it could be too little too late here. But Logic gets the opening here onto Felipe. They have to force their way in now, but Logic, he gets the double kill. They have the opening they need, but Danimal's still on the backside of the site here. Leaves goes down, and it's a 3-on-3. 10 seconds to bomb. Just getting down in time. Will and GDSC, though, already on the entrance to be here. Things looking very difficult as Danimal has them set up to pinch here. He's actually going to back off and rotate all the way around, and this could be a bit of a risk here, but Danimal sneaks his way back in, takes down Logic. It's all on Bert and Eric here to try and hold on, but Danimal, he's found another. It's Eric all alone in a 1-on-3, and it's not going to happen. Will takes him down, and it's going to be 9-8 in favor of Imperial. Looks like Danimal may be back here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to really say to Lazarus that round really falls on them. There are 3 players all in the bomb site, waiting for that retake to come in from Imperial. Eric had a smoke grenade, he had a flashbang, he had a HE grenade. Didn't use a single one of them. He had no pressure on him at all. He could have just stood in between the server racks and thrown it and shot off one of the choke points. But instead, they all die one at a time in duels, and that's full power to Imperial. And I think that is the difference between these 2 teams. So will we be seeing an overtime? Nothing is set in stone at the moment. Imperial, though, starting to find their feet at just the right time.
Now it begs the question, who will win this final aim duel between Toonie and GDSC? This could be the fate of the match in the hands of these two players for their teams right now. As we saw in the previous round, Toonie not able to win it, and Lazarus sort of collapsing around that failure in mid. And now it's going to be up to Imperial to see if they can close this one out or take it to the risk of overtime to try and find themselves one step closer to the quarterfinals here. This time around, though, Lazarus being a lot more cautious in mid, and rightfully so. They've had a lot of mistakes and a lot of frags handed over to GDSC and Danimal in this positioning. GDSC, though, not going to be hesitating on the peak. Takes down Albert. It's going to be a nice way to get things started for Imperial here still. Lazarus, they're looking for this opening. Logic playing in the top of the tower, trying to trade this one out, but GDSC, he's looking for that pick to try and make it a two-man advantage here.
Yeah, but this is also where Lazarus like to slow things down after losing that initial pick to see if they can equalize. And said, I'm Toonie. Has obviously found a nice little corridor that's not protected. They learnt this last round that Nenens doesn't really watch that crossover gap, and they're going to go for the fight here against GDSC, and we've seen the work that he can do, and he has put a stop to it with the Colt. As Will finally make his presence known.
Logic drops down in mid, takes down Felipe. It's a 2-on-3, but Toonie trying to do some magic here on the back of sight. He's going to find one, the 2v4, down to a 2-on-2. But it is do or die for Lazarus, and the bomb is down. And this is where they need to be careful. Logic very low on HP as well, but if any two players could do this for Lazarus, it's the two with 24 combined frags here, leading the charge for their team, but still 20 seconds. They have to be extremely cautious, especially now as Danimal is on the flank as well, and they have no idea the bomb getting planted here may not be enough to hold on to the round. Will already finds one. Logic very low on HP. This could be it here. Will and Danimal, of course, the two former world champions, could be the ones to book their ticket to the next stage and potentially the quarterfinals here, and it's going to happen. Danimal and Will do it once again here, 10-8, a very close match, but at the end of the day, Brazil still reigns supreme here at CFS 2019, and it will be a 10-8 victory for Imperial.